Hi there, Uncle Davis here, watching NPH TV, Nothing Pro here, as it says on my shirt. First of all, thank you so much for everyone who are supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. You might have noticed I never do those sort of very commonly seen promotion in the videos on YouTube, because that's not what I'm aiming for. This channel is just for my hobby, just to share the stuff that I like to do or stuff that I found interesting. But I do appreciate you guys supporting the channel. I still get new messages coming in every now and then, especially around one topic, which is the 8Nm boost kit I've got from AliExpress. Many people still send me a message about, hey, how is it going? How's the kit going? Is it still holding up? And I'm very glad to tell everyone that it is still working very well. Rock solid, no issue whatsoever. And I probably have mentioned in one of the previous videos that I've rarely turned my wheelbase off, which I probably should, but I'm just too lazy to leave it sort of like always turned on. I probably only turn it off when I'm actually out of the country by turning off the main switch. But other than that, I've rarely touched the power button on the wheelbase. It's always on red, the PC mode, you know. So considering that, the boost kit is phenomenal. It just works. So of course, it's electronics, so your mileage might vary. You know, sometimes people have a really good experience with a certain big brand, other people may have a very completely different nightmare experience with the same brand. So do keep that in mind, I guess. Now today we are gonna talk about this new racing game. New-ish racing game. Has been out for a month or two, but it's still very new. It's still sort of in the early access stage. Still a lot of stuff to be done, to be polished up. The dev definitely pushing out a lot of updates very frequently, which is I'm really happy to see. This is, if you can't already tell, is CarX Street. Now, CarX game is not a game that I spend too much time in, or just the series in general. The CarX Drift, I do have the CarX Drift game. It was fun. I suck at drifting, okay? I really suck at drifting. I don't drift well. CarX Street, CarX Drift, Assetto Corsa, I don't drift well, but I enjoy the drifting and I enjoy playing games like this with friends, and I'm sure most of you do as well. Now this game I picked up only a couple of weeks ago and I'm having absolutely a blast with the game. It's a really good one. Now in this video I'm not gonna do a very sort of technical in-depth reviews and stuff, because this is more so just how I feel about the game as a player, as a gamer, just to give you my opinion on it, and just maybe show you a little bit features here and there, how does it actually look like. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Okay, so we are now inside the game with my trusty starting car, the MX-5, or as the game called it, NX-5. Now, none of the cars are actually licensed, okay? None of the cars are actually licensed, but they make it look similar enough to their real-world counterparts, so you can easily tell what car this is. So this is definitely a Mazda MX-5, as we call it in Australia. Some of you guys might call it a Miata MX-5. It's very good. Now, first of all, graphics. Graphics is good. The game has good graphics, especially your own car. Looks pretty good. Now, I'm currently on the high preset. There's only one issue though, is with the traffic car. As you can see, that yellow truck just turned into the lane. I don't know if you noticed that. You may want to rewind in this video. It actually lost the spoiler as soon as it leaves the rendering distance from your car, which was actually quite short. And I'm already on high preset. The only way to fix that is to change it to ultra. However, a game that is at this price point and with such a small dev team, I don't really have a big problem. I'm more likely just being nitpicking here. Overall, it's great. Traffic looks great. I've got my traffic turned on to maximum so that I can do no hassy everywhere. Not as dense as the one in the Assetto Corsa, of course, but it is very good. it gives you the immersive. Look, watch that truck, how it lost the spoiler and lost again, and now it just becomes a massive cube. So kind of funny to watch. Sometimes the AI traffic does funny stuff as well. Did you guys see that? Hey mate, are you okay? Are you okay? Sometimes they lose control, sometimes they crash into each other, and even the AI enemies, or sorry, not the enemies, but opponents, that's the better word, in a race, they will get killed by AI traffic, they will get killed by themselves, they may understeer or oversteer here and there. So that gives you another dynamic to the race, whereas some of the racing game out there, every cars are just on rails, so it's no fun. You know, human makes mistake, that's what makes it so fun. You have to react to other people's mistake, and you have to also recover from your own mistake. Oh, look at that truck, was sort of swerving around a little bit. So this is great. As you can see, there's a day and night transition as well in the game, which is fantastic. And the driving wise, now the driving wise is good, it's very good. It's not simulation hardcore, so to speak, as in a Assetto Corsa level or, you know, iRacing level, but is it arcade? Definitely not. It might give you a Need for Speed vibe of the game, but it's definitely no Need for Speed. You can't just pull your handbrake on every corner and just sort of just slide your way around and looks cool while you're winning races. And no, you can't do it. Out it now, grip racing is the fastest way here. So you do have to focus. Well, at least for me, it could be a skill issue, you know, but at least for me, I do have to focus in the race. Where do I go? Where do I expect the traffic coming out from the intersections? What do I plan for the next corner? How do I maximize the width of the road, etc, etc. Try not to use the curbs, because the curb does actually slow you down. Of course, you can hit the light post and they will fall down like Need for Speed, but they do actually slow you down, so just keep that in mind. Overall, it's a very fun experience. It's a very cool game. Now, one thing I do want to go over is the map. So here, if you're pressing M on the keyboard or whatever buttons you have mapped on your controller, you can bring up the maps here, and you can see all the other people actually in the same instance as you. Those little black arrows, they're all real players. Now, there's one thing that was confusing to me at the beginning. Now that I think I've got it sort of understanding how it works, is the STREETNET. The STREETNET on the top right corner of the screen. What does that do? If you bring up the little iPhone thing, you will see a STREETNET being offline at the moment. What that means is, it means you're offline from the PvP side of things, because the game is always online. So even though it says offline here, it doesn't actually mean you're totally offline. That sort of confuses me quite a bit at the beginning. Think about it as STREETNET as in a lore thing. It's a story thing of this game. You are a street racer, you have your phone. It's just like you're doing Uber deliveries. If you're offline, you're not gonna get notifications about an order or a request getting sent by people around you or restaurant around you. Simply means I'm not working, I'm offline. If you turn it to online, means yep, I'm here, I'm ready to take orders. When you're offline on your Uber apps on your mobile phone, doesn't mean you can't see other Uber drivers on the road. You can still see them, but you don't have anything to do with them. But if you're online, which means they are technically your competitors, they're technically, or your colleagues, if you want to put it that way, and you can then interact with them, which is in the same way here. If you put yourself online in the STREETNET, then you can access the multiplayer race. Now let's look at the map again, which you can see there's a whole bunch of different events that you can join. There's a couple of ones that I haven't got them unlocked yet, but you can do races here for this club called Wild Juniors. You can do time attack, you can do sprint race, you can do drift events. And as you can see here, I've done the races for this Union Underground Club. You can even do some car deliveries and some boxes delivery, which are pretty cool stuff. Now the map is actually pretty decent size, and you can see the map has got quite different varieties of roads. So if you go over here, you can see all the toll gate stuff here, and then there's a little drift course here, just like the drift playground in Assetto Corsa. And then you've got the highway sort of around the edge of the town on the sea. And it's a very well done map. And if you drive around in different areas, you do actually get to see different style, as in the urban. You've got some like the Japanese style in the tollgate area. You got the highway, which is kind of like the Shutoko. And then you got the hill run. You got the it's very fun. It's very fun. So it's a racing game video. So it's I can't really qualify this as a racing game video without doing a race, right? Before I do that, let's sign into STREETNET. One more last thing I want to show you guys is, once you're online in the STREETNET, if you bring up the map again, and you can see how all the single play events disappeared, and you got a whole bunch of these other online race now. If it says online race in that yellow rectangle, if you click into a race, all you need to do is place your bet on the currency. There's an in-game currency. Don't worry, so far I found the currency is nothing. The game just gives you currency as long as you keep playing, or you can even bet on your car. Okay, you can actually bet on the cars. And then you click create race, and then any other players who are also online in STREETNET in the same instance, they will get a little pop-up on your screen saying, hey, Uncle Davis has created this race. If you click join, and it will show up once the timer is done, and then you can start racing. And depending on win or lose, you win or lose the bet. That's how it is in multiplayer. Kind of realistic, I guess. In real world street racing, I would expect them to sort of bet on money or pink slips, and you can actually do the same here. So that was pretty cool. And now let's go back offline and do a race. So this is one of the races that I'm currently going on with this Wild Juniors Club. Fast travel, 250 credit. Like I said, the credit is absolutely nothing in this game, so don't worry about it. Just keep racing and the money will keep flowing into your bank account. Here we are, got teleported or fast travel to the starting point. All I need to do is press enter, or if you're on the controller, you can press D-pad up, I believe, from memory, if I'm not mistaken. The game is really well optimized for both the wheel and the controller. So let's jump right into this race. And we are going up against two other cars. Let's go. A bit of a wheel spin there. Actually quite a lot of wheel spin. What is that green car was doing? Try to take a different line, I guess. You do have to brake. You do have to brake to take the corner. You can't just grip your whole way through. Again, this is not Need for Speed. Now, I've got nothing against Need for Speed. I actually enjoy Need for Speed game as well. But it's just not the same. It's just not the same thing we're talking about here. Even though this is street racing, it's just not the same. See how the traffic actually flashes the headlights on you, so that's a pretty cool stuff. Now that MX-5 is actually quite fast. It's actually all going off. You see how it was going off and going onto the curb. So they do actually make mistakes. Let's boost our way through to try to catch up. And now because I'm driving and talking, I'm obviously not paying full attention, and we are halfway through the race now, 50%. Got a big draft. Overtook him. Look at the minimap. Still next to us. Now the other thing is, when you're playing on the wheel, some of you, including myself, sometimes I will want to have the in-car view here. But the problem is, the mirror doesn't actually work that well. So as you can see on the minimap, the opponent supposedly should be right behind me. So if I slow down to wait for it to come, they're probably on my left now. I can't see it. I can't see. Sometimes you will see flashes of the headlight, but you can't actually see them. So I wish they will fix that part the mirror is pretty important in my opinion when it comes to racing, or just put a virtual mirror somewhere on the screen. That will fix the problem. So the race itself is fun. Like I said, out it now, grid racing is the fastest way. You do have to watch out for traffic. You do have to think about where the traffic may come out. And also one thing to note that is if you restart in the event, the traffic does not come out from the same place every time you restart the race. So they're all different. So there's no hard-coded truck coming out from this intersection every time you pass it. No, there's no such thing. Everything is different every time you restart the race, so that's another good thing. Now, I've said so many good things about the game. The downside of the game is probably about the graphics that I was talking about, the AI traffic, the rendering stuff, although you can work around it by putting onto ultra settings. The mirror, I really want to have a virtual mirror there. And the other thing is, if they can make multiplayer for people to join into a race with AI bots, that will be fantastic. That will be fantastic, because so far, sometimes I do multiplayer race and most of the times only me and my friend, and we're just betting the same $1,000 like back and forth. So kind of pointless. And that's pretty much it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's not a very professionally done technical review or anything like that. It's just a unscripted first impression of the game, although I've been playing this game for quite some time now. So totally unscripted, totally free flow. Hope you enjoy the content. If you have any questions about the game or about anything that I might or might not have experienced in the game, let me know. The Mercedes just took the truck out. Oh, and it's still losing control. And it's what is it doing? and then it got a chain effect. It's probably me, because I'm sitting on the intersection here causing traffic jams. So it's actually my bad. I'm sorry guys. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now. Take care.